Hey y'all, I'm back. What episode is this? Welcome back to Degrassi Season 2. I'm just kidding. Welcome back to Beyond the Gates Season 2, Episode 107. I think it's 107. Y'all, okay, so we are back, recovering from everything that happened at the country club. So we're picking up as we last saw, the chandelier was getting ready to fall and Abby was standing directly under it. Joey, her mom screamed, and then, her sister-in-law screamed, and then Joey flew across the ballroom and tackled her and shoved her out of the way, and the chandelier fell. Also, they were still working on Martin because Martin, y'all know Martin was under that tree. They was trying to tap Martin to see if he had any vitals. Martin didn't move it first, but then eventually he started moving his neck. Ted checked him, and come to find out, he said he was okay. He didn't have any broken bones, but they still wanted to make sure he didn't have any traumatic head injuries. Everything else from here will be out of order because I'm going to try my best not to be emotional. Danny and Bill. No, Danny. Don't cry, because Danny, let me say something. Danny is one of my faves. But Danny, I got to tug on your with this episode, girl, because you is wrong. Your husband could have been in there fighting for his life, and you in the elevator hunching on your ex-husband, girl. You ought to be ashamed, and you ought to feel guilty. You ought to feel all kinds of shame and bad. Okay? Because what? Danny, are you serious? You just poured your guts out to Andre a couple episodes ago about how you couldn't believe how silly you was. And how you couldn't believe that was a version of yourself. You was embarrassed. You was embarrassed, girl. And now you and your ex-husband get stuck in the elevator. And y'all doing the tango. Oh, y'all better hope them cameras did not see nothing, because all y'all tea is about to be spread around the country club. Danny and Bill, I just don't even got no words for you, because have you no shame. But Bill and Haley, birds of a feather, huh? And then he had the nerve to look at Haley all twisted and Kyle all twisted when Kyle came to the table to, tell Haley bye because and thank you for staying with him during the storm and what was going on, have you. And you had a nerve to look at her funny. Bill, you can't look at her no kind of way, because you just as guilty, friend. So you might as well just, whatever she did, don't even think about it. Just chalk it up, charge it to the game, because that's crazy. And then, dude, I feel like Bill I'm not going to say Bill took advantage of Danny, but he definitely took advantage of the situation for sure. The way he kept baiting Danny, the way he kept saying he was being real frisky. I was like, Bill, this is not your wife. This is your ex-wife. First of all, if I was on the elevator with Bill, I would have been in the farthest corner, and I would have made him go to the other farthest corner. He don't even look in my direction. 1, 2, 3, quiet game. I don't want to hear you talk till the power come back on. Matter of fact, take a nap. Both of us finna take a nap, because this is too much. You want to know what helps you not panic? Going to sleep. Going to sleep. Y'all should have took a nap, both of y'all. 1, 2, 3, quiet game. Hands to yourself. Don't say nothing. Both of y'all in y'all respective corners. Don't you say a word. But no, y'all did everything but not talk. Y'all did everything but not talk. And Danny, you know how Andre feel about you. He had just told you he poured out his heart. I mean, can you feel the love tonight type pour out his heart? Now you feel guilty. And then you gonna tell Bill, when the elevator doors open, you go this way, I go this way. This never happened. We know what that was. I know what it shouldn't have been, Danny. Then Bill gonna get out of the elevator. First of all, Haley thought she was slick. Because, girl, I seen you putting them rings back on again, girl. You ain't slick, Haley. Why your rings was off while you was in that closet with Kyle? While you was in there having a house party, too, in the closet with the EDM music. So she's in the hallway. Bill is, I don't know who Bill was hugging. Was he hugging Naomi? No, he was hugging somebody. I don't know. Anyway, you turn around. Someone said, Bill, I've been looking for you. Girl, you was not looking for Bill. You don't even care about Bill. You don't even care about Bill. And then how you gonna say, well, if he was stuck in a stairwell, he was dusty. You was stuck in the closet? You ain't dusty? What kind of logic is that? You ain't dusty? What you mean? And I just want to know how y'all even got separated in the first place. Because if anything traumatic happened, the first thing you do is grab your spouse. You see what Vernon and Anita was together. Now I can see, why. First of all, I don't even remember where Bill was even coming from for him to even be on the elevator. Let's just start there. I don't know if he was mixing, and trying to get people's phone number or what was going on. But I don't even know how he ended up on the elevator. Nonetheless, it would be a drama if Daddy would be able to end up in the elevator, huh? But no. Jacob is here. Jacob has finally arrived here. He is safe because I didn't know where Jacob was at. He was in the storm and the power line had failed. I was just hoping he didn't get electrocuted. Jacob has been through enough. Jacob is in here telling everybody what to do. The firemen, the EMT, the ambulance. He's telling everybody where to go. Kat is screaming. Isaiah, I don't know if Isaiah was on the floor above or if he was on the step. I don't know where he was, but he heard Kat nonetheless. He thought it was Eva, but it was Kat. Kat is screaming. Isaiah, come help. Eva is hurt, and Kat is standing there aiding Eva as best as she can. Eva, we still don't know what happened to Eva. Eva was throwing up blood, but now Eva is unconscious. And you know what's crazy? I can't believe Eva is the one who got seriously injured, because I could have sworn when everything was over with, I thought I saw Eva in the trailer running with her head wrapped, into the room. Maybe that wasn't her. I don't know. But nonetheless, Kat was in there. So Isaiah finally gets to the door. Kat is screaming. Isaiah's trying to break down the door because Eva is hurt. And that's the love of his life. Okay? Eva is hurt. He's trying to bust down the door. Kat is telling him, no, there is a pipe that is blowing hot steam. You will get burned. Do not come in here. So he goes and gets help. The rest of the EMTs, Kyle, and, they're getting Kyle and Haley out the closet. Whoever else was stuck in random closets, they get them out. Ted and Shanice and Ashley and Nicole are still working on people. Nicole is trying not to panic because she has not found Kat yet. Who else? Danny was technically still missing, and then all of them was looking for Vernon and Anita. Oh yeah. Speaking of, once Haley and Kyle got out of the closet, Anita was right there in that hallway, and she peeped the scene. One thing about Auntie, she always gonna peep the scene. She peeped the scene when Haley walked on by. No, Haley didn't even walk on by. She said, Haley, your husband has been looking for you. Anita don't play. Auntie Nita don't play. And I don't blame her. She said, Kyle, may I have a word with you? Kyle, I just want you, listen, Kyle. This is a T, friend. Her, a viper. Stay away from her. She's a gold-digging, husband-stealing, money-hungry viper. I said, let the church say amen. And that is how you give a good old nasty read. I said yes. And it's crazy because before Anita even said that, I said, oh my God, Haley is such a viper. When the viper came out of Anita's mouth, I was like, yes, because that's exactly what she is. She a viper. She said, Kyle, let that be a warning to you. I said, oh my God. But honestly, because Kyle seems to give that Playboy type of vibe, I don't think this will be the end of him and Haley. I think Kaya will be leaving Genoa City a couple of times, and him and Haley will have an affair. I don't know. If they don't, they can say for season 3 that'd be great TV. Or whenever Haley get busted for being a con artist. I don't know. Sidebar, I just had this random thought. Vanessa made this slick comment that I kind of didn't like. And she was like, well, I guess everybody should be glad that you finally stopped by, or we stopped by, or glad you were in the building tonight, or something like that. I bet everybody has changed their mind about us being here in attendance tonight. Vanessa, unfortunately, I'm petty. Happy Abby got saved. We're going to give you, no, not you. We're going to give Joey his 10s there. But the statement still stands. Sister, you were not supposed to be there with that man. It was just supposed to be you. Okay? I'm going to take it easy on you today because we have bigger fish to fry. I'm not going to tug at your wig because, you know, you still were very much out of line and then try to be combative about it. So, luckily, we have bigger things to work out because there unfortunately was a tornado that went through the country club. But you may exit the building and keep your mouth zipped. You and Joey, silent exit. You doing this, and we want you to do this. Girl, bye. Anyway. Nicole was trying her best not to freak out. Let me tell you something. Leslie was doing what Leslie do, wreaking havoc. Like Vernon said, I was trying to show her compassion because even though I don't think Eva is her daughter, Eva is her daughter. And she was freaking out. So, she got on that walkie-talkie, yelling and screaming and hollering at Ted, and Nicole got on that cleared. Nothing else was said. Listen to me. She said that her daughter was missing. And you ain't the only one that's missing family members, gang. And you need to stop all that hollering and screaming because we all are trying to do the best we can right now, and you turn our nerves up more. And I said, yes. About time Nicole shook the table a little bit, girl. Because sometimes you just got to set a person straight one time. A little correction, a little steering is needed. What am I going to say? Ain't nothing but a little bit of straightening. You just issue a little bit of straightening, then it be done. We don't got to worry about it no more. I bet she won't do it again. What else? Oh, Jacob. First of all, once they found out the cat, you know, once Cat got on the little bed and the EMTs got her, you know, Leslie was freaking out. Leslie said the whole time that, you know, she had a bad feeling because she hadn't heard from Eva, and Eva would usually be the one to come and check and see where she was at. But since she had heard from Eva, she knew something was wrong. And her motherly instincts was right. Eva was hurt. Eva was injured. Something was wrong. Kat didn't come out the closet in one piece, but Kat seemed fine. And Leslie, you know, saw that Eva was unconscious, and they was trying to get her on the back of the emergency vehicle to take her to Garland, and she was just like, my daughter looks like this, but Kat looks like this. That don't make sense. And Kat was just, you know, very tearful, very emotional because, one, that's the least likely thing you will want something to happen. And, you know, that showed to me Kat still, I mean, that didn't show to me. We knew Kat had a heart, but it was displayed on screen that Kat had a heart. Because, you know, a lot of people have been tugging at Kat wig because they felt like Kat was wrong in her treatment of Eva and how she showed her hatred and dislike for Eva. But when the situation got serious, she was there for Eva. She just didn't leave Eva there to die. She took care of Eva to the best of her ability. And so when everybody saw her, her first thing was to think like, oh my God, I'm fine and Eva's not. People gonna think I did something to her. And hopefully that's not the case, but Jacob did try to talk her down, but she was like, Jacob, you know that's not true. And I was just like, dang. But I am glad to see that Eva did, you know, after everything got settled, after Eva checked in with her mom, she checked in with her dad. She told her dad that Eva was on her way to the hospital. She did, you know, reel in and was just like, I know that I'm going to have to go to Garland to see if Eva is okay. What else? It was the way Jacob kind of comforted Kat and told her, you know, this is not your fault. And I was just like, Jacob, it's amazing how you can issue advice, the same advice that you've been getting, but you wasn't able to take it. So hopefully we can see, you know, after that whole thing that went down, hopefully Jacob can have a different lens on, you know, the situation about Derek's passing. And, you know, hopefully this will, you know, help him with his grieving process, you know, with everything going on. Hopefully, not help him with his grieving. What am I trying to say? Oh my God. Hopefully, you know, with all that has happened, he's able to see what everybody was finally saying, you know, in terms of, you know, grieving and, you know, feeling less guilty, so to speak. Because, you know, he was able to clearly give that advice to Kat. And I was just like, that's kind of in the same vein of you, friend. You know, all the Duprees met up. Martin is still having head issues. He did try to stand up and he ended up passing out. And we didn't see him get up. So that was the end of the episode. So I'm assuming Martin is going to the hospital. Andre is on his way to the hospital as well. And it's the fact for me, I told y'all this review is going to be all over the place because as I'm talking about it, I'm just remembering all these different things. Andre, when they are on their way out, Andre tells Danny, you know, Danny, I love you so. And I'm just like, dang. He was like, Danny, I love you so much. You know, the first thing I thought when everything was going down is, where is Danny? She could be hurt. She could be alone. She could be calling out for my name and I can't even get to her, you know. And he was just like, I love you so much, you know. And I'm just like, Danny is hearing the words that he's saying, but I don't know if she was exactly able to process what exactly he was saying, because that type of, you know, soliloquy that he was giving her, you know, about how much he loved her because, you know, they had just both went through this traumatic event. All she could think and feel is guilt. And I'm like, ooh, girl, you gonna tell her? Tell him. I'm just like, ooh. Now, the thing I'm thinking is, Danny and Bill are supposed, Danny and Andre are supposed to have this very open and honest communication on Orthodox marriage. Will Danny be able to go to Andre and tell him what happened on the elevator between her and Bill? Because I think that if Bill wasn't like, I don't want to say baiting Danny, but the way he was, you know, while she was trying to figure out a solution, the way he was making these very slick comments, I'm just like, sir, saying them comments to your ex-wife, the lady in whom which you left, the lady in which whom you had the mistress who you currently need to be looking for, your current wife, had her in your ex-wife, y'all house, y'all bedroom, while she wasn't there. You saying them inappropriate comments to her, craziness, Bill, craziness. And then it's just like, I'm thinking, on Bill's side, is this experience that he just had with Danny going to make him want Danny more? Will he like leave Haley and feel like, I want my family back, and like try to fight Andre for Danny? Like, what is this whole thing gonna spark? Because I'm just like, if Andre finds this out about Bill and Danny after he done already invested so much into Danny, mind you, they're coming up on a year of being married. Haley and Bill have already passed their year of being married. Is this hurt gonna throw Andre back into the arms of Ashley? Like, is this gonna be a game of relationship ping pong? Is this gonna turn into the Vortex from All American? I just need to know. Is everybody gonna be dating the same people and having relationships with the same people backwards and forwards? Are they? Because I'm just like, I don't know where all this is going to go. Because I feel like the tornado set off a whole bunch of things. Just like, I'm wondering, once Eva gets to the hospital, because I saw the trailer, and I saw Ted asking Kat if they could see if she was a donor or if she was a match, because Eva needs a transplant. Now, let me just say this. I don't think that Kat should be the one to give up her organs if she don't want to, because I understand Kat's sentiment. But I think that when they get to the hospital, they're gonna find out Leslie is not a match, and Ted might be the match, but Leslie might not be the match. And I think we're gonna find out that Leslie is not Eva mama. Hopefully they don't turn us all around. I hope they don't. But my God, on today, y'all, I feel like after this situation, it's finna shake up a whole bunch of stuff for a whole bunch of people. Oh. Oh yeah, Victor. How in tarnation did you give the lecture, and by the time the storm was over, you all the way back in Wisconsin? What in the world kind of jet was that? And how you go around the storm? Because the storm was brewing while you was giving your speech. So how in the world did he contact the chief of police to let his family know that he was all the way back in Genoa City? Ain't that something? Also, because Joey saved Abby's life, Jack told him that we are indebted to you. My name is, let me know anything. You know, my name is Jack Newman. You know, or Jack Abbott. Which one is it? Either one. Martin and Smitty clocked that and went and had a brief conversation with him and was like, yeah, that's not the man you need to be owing favors to. Just want to let you know, just want to give you a heads up. I don't know if he's going to reach out to you or not, but if he does, don't answer. That's not who you want to owe. I'm just like, dang. Joey did a good deed. And he still got to pay the consequences of being trifling. Yep. Sorry, Joe. I'm so sorry. Not really, but so sorry. What else? Am I missing something? Yeah, I think that's about it, y'all. So I will be back on Monday with the review of episode 108. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back with more videos. This is